Well, it's a gorgeous day here in Juneau, and so I decided to take a walk and give you guys a little bit of a fill-in about my July in reading. And as the title said, I have been so distracted. I feel like because it's summer and I've got so many, reasons to be outside, that I have not been reading as much. Or I should say, like, I've been reading, but what I'll do is like pick up a book that I'm in the mood for, and then next time I go to read, I'm in a different mood, and so I've really been jumping around a lot. So truth be told, I have only finished one book in the whole month of July, which is kind of crazy. Oh, let me show you the mountain for a second. There we go. So I've been listening to audiobooks while I walk, and I have walked a total of about 100 miles between May 1st and tomorrow is August 1st. So I've walked a lot just to take advantage of this weather and just move my body after, the pandemic, keeping us all indoors. That's been really great. So I started off listening to Anne of Green Gables, and I want to say I got about halfway through Anne, but then I'm gonna stop because there's people. I got about halfway through Anne, but then we decided to read it as a family, my daughter and I, for a book club, and she wanted to do audio, and so I let her switch over to her Audible account, my Audible account on her device, and listen to Anne from the beginning, which meant I lost my spot. So I found my place in the book and decided to read Anne in paperback before our Anne of Green Gables picnic that hopefully will be this month if things don't, go haywire again with COVID. So then I had to listen to something else on Audible, and I figured, hey, it's Jane Austen July, so I'll listen to a Jane Austen. And I chose Pride and Prejudice because, believe it or not, I have never listened to Pride and Prejudice before, or read Pride and Prejudice. I've seen like every movie adaptation, and I feel like I know the story, obviously, and I have read and have heard that they take, a lot from the book, the dialogue and stuff. So I figured that I thought I might enjoy it less to read because I already knew the plot, and that I'm kind of a plot reader. I really enjoy beautiful prose and quirky dialogue and all the other parts of writing, but if I know the plot, then it's less exciting for me, I guess. I guess I don't keep my attention as well. Well, I was wrong because it is so great. Oh, you guys want to see a Stellar's Jay? Let's see. Did I say I was distractible? Because I'm very distractible. So I'm listening to the audiobook version of Pride and Prejudice on Audible, narrated by Rosamund Pike, and it's everything. She is so good. I mean, I know that like she already understands the book. She played Jane, right? And she has those, I'm sure, those actors' mannerisms in mind while narrating, but I don't think it would matter because she acts perfectly. She does the different voices and the different mannerisms. I mean, Mrs. Bennet and Mr. Bennet even, Mr. Collins, like even the men, she just does so well. I just love, I'm usually walking when I'm listening to it, and I'm just grinning ear to ear. It's hilarious. So I'm gonna put this away while I'm by the busy street, but when I get a little closer to the library, which is where I'm going today, I will record some more and tell you what I what else I've read, because I have not finished either Anne or Pride and Prejudice, so it's going to become Austen August for Pride and Prejudice. But I have read pieces and parts and one whole of other things, so I'll tell you more in a little bit. Okay, I found some shade. So if you follow me on Instagram, which I would love for you to do if you don't, you'll know that I have attempted to write a new story for Amazon Kindle Vella, which is a serialized platform, and I'm just trying out this new platform to see where it'll go and if it'll be a good fit for my story. I say new story, but it's an old story that I am just modifying to fit the serialized format a little better, which means like in episodes where each episode kind of has its own arc, and so it's kind of like chapters, only you can just read a little bit at a time, you know, when you're just out and about or waiting, and the episodes release over time. So I'm trying that out. So I've been reading some other people's Vella stories to just get a feel for the format and see what they're writing, so I'm really enjoying that. I'm reading one called Macchiato's something, what is it called? Macchiato's Fairy Tale Princes and Other Things That Happen at Midnight. I'll link it below. And it's really fun. And she's on YouTube as well, so I would say check out her site if you're interested in, her channel if you're interested in serialized fiction. And because my story, turns out, is kind of a romance, and I haven't written romance before, I've been trying to read a little bit more romance. So I read one in entirety called A Ghost of Her Own, which is a paranormal ghost story romance, but it's a sweet romance. It doesn't have anything too steamy, and that's more my style. And I know the author who wrote it, so I just wanted to support her and have that be one of my first reads. It was really cute. I really enjoyed it, and I bought the second in the series but haven't gotten to it yet. I'll link that as well. And then I picked up A Low Country Bride by Presleyza Williams. Presleyza is also an acquaintance. We met several years ago when I was selling hair accessories, and her book has gotten so much good press. I've seen it all over mainstream media, and I know she's gotten a lot of good interviews, and I'm super happy for her. And it is about an Afro-Filipino bridal gown designer, and it's a romance, obviously. Also very sweet. I'm about 70% through it already, so I'll finish that one soon. I decided to read a couple of books on my Kindle because I tend to not sit down these days until I'm ready to go to sleep, and then I want to read in bed, right? But then I'm tired, so oh, it's just been funny. I just haven't really gotten through a lot. I read my 6-year-old's Beatrix Potter stories just to kind of ease him into some homeschool time, and then we got to talking about something, and he really wanted to try a chapter book that was just for him, and I have lots that I have scheduled for first grade, but I went ahead and indulged him, and we started Peter Pan. So again, I just keep starting more and more books. This will be my third read through Peter Pan, but I'm enjoying it more every time. The first time I read Peter Pan, it was actually just too difficult for me to read aloud. I wasn't accustomed to reading aloud. And the second time I thought, is this the same book? Because I was so much better at it after having done it for years. So yeah, what else have I been reading? I started a couple of other books. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see the books that I am reading, just on different. I like to have a nonfiction going, an audiobook going, a fiction, and then some books for my children. But I'm really hoping that August will be a month where I can wrap some things up before school starts in September. So I was thinking that I was going to start doing these monthly wrap-ups for you guys, because when I did my mid-year wrap-up for this channel, I felt like I went through too many books. It was overwhelming. But here I am for my first intended monthly wrap-up, and I don't have anything to say. So that's how life goes. I'm sure, unfortunately, with the COVID numbers rising, there's a decent chance that I'll have more reading time, so not excited about that, but it is what it is, and I want to seize the day and this beautiful weather that only happens in summer in Alaska. So I'm going to go into the library now and have a book to return that I have not read, so I'm going to try and read it there. And then I need to pick up another book that I am going to start, obviously, because that's how I roll. Okay, I am back from my walk to the library. I'm a little wilted because of a couple of detours. It was 5.5 miles and I couldn't find shade almost the whole way back. So I do have sunscreen on my face, but I'm a little worried about my arms. Nonetheless, I got to chapter 27 in Pride and Prejudice, and Audible says I still have 7 hours to go. So next month. I'd love to hear what you guys are reading and how your July went, so definitely leave me a comment and let me know what you're up to, and if you can relate to my being very distractible. Have a good day.